Now, this next clip was something I don't want to say we didn't see coming because I heard rumors about this, but I didn't know how true they were. But with this trailer, obviously, we're confirming a Kourtney and Kim feud, a tale as old as time. Let's watch this next clip.
Have you talked to Court about Milan?
My sister used my wedding as a business opportunity. She's mad at me.
Live it.
Okay, I'm just automatically having all the flashbacks of, Kim telling Kourtney she's a fake humanitarian and Kourtney telling Kim there are people dying and stop crying about the diamond in the ocean. I mean, these two, not to mention they got in a fist fight at one point. These two have been at odds for years and it seems like they had finally kind of gotten over it, but it has resurfaced. So Kate, from the very limited information that we have about this fight. It seems like Kourtney might be upset that after her wedding in Italy, which her dress was designed by Dolce and Gabbana, Kim immediately did some type of partnership with them. At surface value, and I know it's hard, but who would you lean towards being more in the right in this situation, just based on the very limited, knowledge that we have?
I literally don't know. I watched this and I was like, what are they talking about? Like, I was like, those two things seem totally unrelated. Kourtney saying that Kim used her wedding as a business opportunity. I'm like, okay, that sounds like a bit of a stretch. Like, I don't feel like she was there to like promote her. What are you talking about? First of all, the brand didn't seem to have much connection with Kim prior to the wedding. So I don't know how her wedding could have been used as a business opportunity other than maybe Kim getting closer to the designers through the wedding. But I'm not sure why Kourtney, I don't know why that would make her upset, I guess. I think it's just, I don't know. I thought it was a little weird. I'm leaning towards Kim right now because I'm not really sure where Kourtney's coming from. But I mean, later on, I'm sure we'll see this, this several sisters say, I can see it from both sides. So I'm like, what is the other side though? Is she just like upset that Kim and Dolce & Gabbana made a good connection during her wedding? And now she's like working with the brand full time. Did Kourtney want to work with the brand, or is she just upset that they made the connection at her wedding and felt that Kim wasn't really there to celebrate her love with Travis? I'm not really sure which it is. I'm thinking maybe more that she's upset that Kim wasn't really there for her wedding and wasn't really there just to support the love, because Kourtney is pretty sensitive, as we found as we've moved through the season. So I'm not sure, but I'm leaning towards Kim at this moment, but it could change at any second as I don't know what's going on.
Well, let's see a little bit more because there is a little bit more to this feud. And then, Hannah, I'll get your opinion on it.
She felt like her wedding vibes were like stripped from her.
I'm really confused how this narrative came into her head. Like, I couldn't have been more mindful. I said, don't do anything that Kourtney wore to her wedding.
I see both sides. Yeah, I see both sides.
People think that's a misunderstanding. It's not. It's who she is to her core.
Ooh, deep sigh, deep sigh. So kind of what, and again, this is just an educated guess. Kourtney is getting ready to finally have her wedding. She went decades thinking that she wouldn't even get married when she was with Scott. She falls in love with Travis Barker. They get married in Italy. It's amazing. Dolce and Gabbana makes this custom dress for her. And then, you turn around. I don't know how soon it was, but for the sake of the argument, let's say a week later, you have in every billboard around the world, Kim Kardashian and Dolce and Gabbana, right? Same designer that Kourtney just used for her wedding. And it's like maybe Kourtney's big limelight moment, right? Because does she really get a lot of moments where like Kourtney is the star? And maybe Kourtney feels like this was supposed to be my moment. And the very next week, you're walking down the Dolce and Gabbana runway. Like, you can't let me have one moment with this designer. I'm just kind of spitballing out here, but Hannah, what do you think?
Oh man, I think this is a lot to unpack. I think that's exactly what it is in terms of where Kourtney's mind is at. I think that she's always had something to kind of be upset about. I don't want to say complain, but she's always been the one out of the three of them, especially, that is more sensitive and unhappy. So I think seeing that she's found happiness and everything like that, that's great. And I do see how, I mean, she also had her moment, but she had it in its full due. I mean, she also got a complete Hulu special out of it exclusively for herself. At the end of the day, business is business. That's why I think it's always so hairy to do family and business and to kind of have that as a hybrid. I thought that they were already, or especially Kourtney, I thought that they already had a connection with Dolce and Gabbana. So if that's the case, then for them to go after Kim and want to work with Kim, I mean, the timeline definitely is funky and rocky. But at the end of the day, too, like, again, business is business. Maybe they saw Kim and got excited and hadn't talked to Kim in a little while. I don't really know. I want to get a lot more information before I really choose a side here. But I
Mhm.
mean, I'm kind of more, I'm probably with you, Kate. I'm probably more like Team Kim right now. But I want to hear the whole side and the whole spiel of everything, and then I'll really be able to kind of like see everything. I feel like there's a lot of what Courtney's argument is that's cut out of the trailer. So I'm curious to see what
Mhm.
she has to say, and I really want to see where she's coming from fully because I get it, but at the end of the day, too, again, it's like it's Dolce and Gabbana. You know what I mean? It's business. If you have an opportunity, take it. But I think that the timeline could have been a little bit more respectful.
Okay, so I'll play devil's advocate for a second and be team Kourtney because I actually am leaning more towards team Kourtney. Kourtney's my favorite, so I'm always gonna be a little bit biased towards her because I just love her. But here's what I think. I think that Kourtney probably just wanted her sister Kim to maybe ask and not just automatically assume that it would be okay. And especially when Kourtney says this is who she is to her core. I'm thinking maybe Kourtney feels like my sister cares more about business opportunities than my feelings. And she doesn't know because she doesn't ask me what my feelings are. And had she asked me, she would have known I would prefer you to wait a little bit so I can kind of have my moment in the sun with Dolce and Gabbana. So and Kim is very business minded. I mean, we've seen this fight between these two for years. Kim saying, "Kourtney, you don't have any work ethic." Kourtney saying, "I don't want to work as hard as you, Kim. I don't care. I'm happy with my however many millions of dollars. I'm not going to be working from sun up till sundown." So I think it comes back to a very long history of similar thinking when it comes to what their priorities are. So I am interested to see how this shakes out. Before you go, make sure you like this video, ring the bell, subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on any pop culture updates. As always, I'm your host, Morgan Wright. Today I was joined by the lovely Kate and Hannah. Our social media is on the screen right now if you want to come say hello, and we will see you back here next time. Bye, everyone.